hear me now? This is a Soul Fire production. Soul Fire production.
As the wheels turn, every Thursday night at 6:30. As the wheels turn, racing through the streets and through the hills. As the wheels turn, every Thursday night we pedaling. As the wheels turn, streaming live with Ordonez. So yes, I sit and watch as the wheel turns. My bike is where I get my thrill. Up and down, riding through the hills. I have no fear as I climb and change my gear. Through the valley so steep, now we on the street. Yeah, yeah, yeah. As the wheels turn, every Thursday night at 6:30. As the wheels turn, racing through the streets and through the hills. As the wheels turn, every Thursday night we pedaling. As the wheels turn, streaming live with Ordonez. So yes.
Pleasant good night and welcome back. The 54th edition or episode of As the Wheel Turns. We have little issues, technical issues, but you know, better be late than never.
Correct.
Right, Rich?
Correct.
So welcome, Rich. Rich is the co-host tonight.
Let's trying to fit the
Fitzgerald
shoes.
Palace Joseph is out for the next 2 weeks. I think the man said he will be out this week. I know he's having he recovered from the illness and he'll be traveling to the Dominican Republic and to Colombia. Is that man big, right?
Yes,
man,
yes.
Man, like
Pro life.
Yeah.
Pro life.
Welcome, Rich.
Thank you very much. Again, we would like to say we apologize for the technical difficulty for the start, but we are here now and we plan to give you a full show.
Yeah.
We have a guest in the house, and as soon as we get past the preliminaries, we will be having that guest.
Yeah. So,
I think your mic doesn't work though.
you think my mic never?
Log it up.
At any rate, we have
Yeah, get a receipt.
we still continue to sort some things out, but
Alright.
we'll have it
I think we're gonna sit down on it.
Okay.
in a few. All right. So
Good?
I want to say top of the night to everybody outside, all those that are watching, all those that are in bed in the diaspora. I know the East Coast is about roughly about after 9 on the East Coast, and I know it's gotten pretty cold out that side on the West Coast. Well, they're pretty much on the same time as we, so
Sorry, folks.
we wanna
We'll do this tonight. I
wanna-
can't put up any more technical difficulties.
just big up everybody on the West Coast and those that are in between Miami and Texas and Houston and all
So,
those places.
good?
You're good?
I want to pick them up, right? And Anthony Catus up in Florida,
Yeah.
and my family, you know.
Yeah. So
family.
well, you know what I like about life? Like you're not good for freak out in a life because anything will happen anytime, right? So
It's just like a race, Andrew.
yeah, you got prepared.
You could go prepared, you go a whole 2 hours before and get the line up, pow, and a tire blow or something, and then scrabble.
Yeah, but
So,
welcome again, viewers. Like I said, the show is about cycling. We recap races. We talk about upcoming races, and then we have the whole thing about. We talk about cycling in general and a whole.
all right.
So, welcome again all to the 54th edition, just like that.
That's like that.
Like we said, Fitzgerald Palace Joseph, my co-host, is not in today.
Why? Well, an E-bird tell me the man that monkey part of the train, I don't know.
Oh, yes, good thing you didn't let me in, Rich.
An E-bird tell me, I could be wrong, but
But we had They said no audio. Or that's the whole thing.
That's all.
That's the whole thing. All right. So basically, we had 4 races to report on.
Right.
We could start with the local races. So we had Weekend Warriors 50-mile road race last Sunday. And all 3, the A, B, and C lined up together.
Correct.
Yeah.
It was one big dance.
One
Andrew.
big dance.
One big dance. And it was a pretty good competitive race.
Yeah.
I think it was. It was exciting to watch. I was out there and I enjoyed what I saw. My team did well again.
Yeah.
So I'm very pleased with the improvement.
Yes. So the result, because you said the Rockets
and
are
a
not jet plane. Yeah, so in the C category, Francois was in 5th position. 4th place was Eric Chi.
Team Medic.
Team Medic. Young Gabby Gabriel
That's right.
was
Syria,
in
3rd place.
3rd place.
Salvador
Alvarado
was
2nd place.
second.
And
Santinos
and 1st place was
Syria again.
Ray Catus,
Ray
the
Catus.
61-year-old man.
Correct. Daddy Ray.
Yeah.
Big up yourself, Daddy Ray.
In the B category, they just give the 3 prizes. The Chief was in 3rd place. 2nd was Tyrone Anthony. And first was Gravel Young, who was in that break.
Correct.
Yeah. In the 8th category, Edmond Kamal, he's back.
Yes.
He's riding for Fall, and he rode excellent. Always been very aggressive.
Yes.
2nd was Smoke.
That was the first time they rode together too.
Okay, yes.
They might be tough, so that was, and of course, they had some issues. But they pretty much dominated the front of that race.
Yep. In 2nd was Smokes Gladden, and the winner was athlete Lozano. Yeah. Good night, Mr.
Who played a very smart role and was well coached by Quinty.
Yeah.
I think he took advantage of the situation and he played a very smart role and conserved, and at the end these guys didn't put him out, so he had enough legs to sprint, and he won the sprint and the race. So big up yourself, athlete, for showing up. Would we say that's Rebels or that's a Guns Rider?
Well, big up Mr.
Who won? Team Guns or Team Rebels? Well, we'll say both of them.
Both of them. Yeah, and then Orange Walk have an Orange Walk cycling club now.
Yes. I think it's growing.
They had an exciting race. I think Cairo said about 20 riders rode that race. Was an exciting race. We want to big up people behind the scenes. I think it's Mr. Rivas, Mr. Bennett, Leslie Bennett, I think, and what your next friend name? I want to try to look on the page. Good friend of this ride.
They have some very good young riders, Andrew. Very good young riders.
Well, they gave me the top 10 finishers in Sunday's race.
Well, let's hear them.
In first place was young Jalen Briseño. Remember the young kid? Young Jalen Briseño?
Yes.
Yeah, young Jalen.
He rides very well.
Second was Delton Rojas. He rides
Delton Rojas, right? Okay.
Excellent young man. Third was Tyler Trapp. I think Tyler Trapp is from Corozal too. Yeah, he rides excellent. Fourth was Hyro Campos, who is on his way back. You see the man picture on Facebook?
Yes, man. The man slimmed down. And why I say, man, the hole in the belly?
Why the man was at the shop?
But that's a significant.
That big change. Big change. So, big up Hyro. Fifth was Romaro Amaya. So I hope I have his name correct.
Romaro Amaya.
Sixth was Everett Matut, young Matut. Yeah.
Yes, I heard about that. I saw him the first time at the September Criterium.
In 7th place was Scott Bell. I think he's out of Corozal too. 8th place was Clark. How pronounce the name? What? Guillermo. 9th was I guess they have this backward. They put Gilhari Christopher, but I figured that Christopher Gilhari. I figure, but I just read what I say after the Facebook page.
Yeah. Well, it would be great Gilhari the last name.
Yeah, and in the 10th position was Adele Olivares, that are the tennisman. Am I pronouncing his name wrong? Tennisman in 10th place.
Oh, what's his name? Oton. Oton, they were at 10th?
Oton, yeah, 10th.
What?
But big respect to
Yes, man. Orange Rock doing the thing.
Doing a thing, so definitely.
And definitely, we want to send an invitation to the Belize crew and the rest of the crew to come up to Orange Rock.
Yes, man.
Yeah, we want to see the war. Not only I think we're ready, we can see the war.
Yeah.
But very good Orange Rock.
This morning, Mr. Guns has his usual Thursday race.
Correct.
Exciting race as usual. Was very exciting.
Very exciting, very fast race.
In first place was no other than Roque Matos.
Roque Matos
I
again.
think Roque rode and he said only ran
He said
for
1
1 year.
year.
But you know what?
And he did, at the beginning of the race, he chased for like 2 miles. And
Yeah.
I was told by...
He was not lined up because he brought the bike, and what happened, he come apart inside of the housing, and so he
I don't see Roque as that kind of guy that would make up stories.
Yeah,
So.
no, well, he brought it.
If he said that's how
yes,
it is,
so
more than likely that's how it is.
he did his guy
I
was
don't, he's
shifting,
a very
but
genuine
he
guy.
wrote-
Rojas broke his hand in the race.
Yes, Rojas did.
It's handlebar.
Dad sent me a video.
Oh, fuck.
That's why me not like carbon handlebar at all. Me not like that.
Well, we've seen him sometimes just unwrap the handle wrap and boom.
Yeah. So, but I don't like the carbon one. I don't like it. So guys, left hand carbon thing low and too much on the carbon handlebar. Yes, second place was no other than Barney Brown.
Barney Brown.
Yes,
He
Barney
was very
Brown.
close too.
Barney Brown, yeah.
He creeped right up and I think if Mr. Guns never shout out Barney Brown is here, he would have surprised Roque because he was creeping up very, very fast behind him. And then Roque give that little extra shove and boom, just beat him up at the tail.
Yeah.
But I think Roque fell asleep at that. When he looked away, he didn't see him, but Barney was on his side. So it was very good, very good race.
Third place was
Again, the world man they show up.
Yeah, third place was D Wade. Fourth, Herman Kenya. Fifth, Dylan Abraham.
That's right. He's making a comeback. Correct.
Sixth was Philip Leslie. Seventh, Tyron Tasha. Eighth, Sean Garden. Ninth, Warren Cowie. And rounding out the 10th position was Wendell Vernon, aka Skinny. So that's 3 races so far, right? So big up Mr. Guns and crew. I mean,
It was a very good race, Andrew, and very fast. I think they said they averaged 24.6 for that race. So that's pretty fast race.
And the fourth race is international.
That's right. The Caribbean Championship.
Yes. Or we had our team of riders who represent Belize in the Dominican Republic.
Which was pretty much the same crew from the Commonwealth Games, except for Cad
Pope didn't.
and young Chavarria.
Yeah.
I think those were the only two that was that.
Yeah.
Right?
So we had
But everybody else was from the Commonwealth
yeah.
Games.
The time we had Kaya and Alicia in the female category.
Right. Category. And
So we did we have the results here. When we did the first, when we did the time trial, and I had because I'm sending off in a wave, I think they're like 2 waves, right? At the end of the first wave, our very own Corey Williams was standing at third place. And
right.
So when we said that, we actually thought he
had third place.
But when the second wave went off, so in the TT, Corey finished fifth
overall.
Fifth, yeah.
Okay.
And Oscar finished 17th. Now Oscar, as you know, his TT bike didn't arrive.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
his TT bike, and so Oscar had to road it on his regular road bike. But nevertheless, Oscar, a warrior, a lion.
Correct. Big up yourself, Oscar.
Yes, big up. So Oscar went out and I understand. I definitely do that. Oscar went out and braved it, and he finished 17th. In the female, Alicia Thompson finished 10th, and Kaya Katus 11th. Yeah, so big up brothers.
Pretty good, man.
And in the road race,
I think Tenille Campbell, the international star.
Yes,
so I mean, they're not like
no.
They're not like they come in 10th and 11th, and you know what I'm saying. They actually was out there with some superstars.
I attended more than the games there, and the level of riding have definitely increased. Actually, I just want to go back quick. I think this morning the guys for Weekend Warriors averaged 24 points something. I think that when I said it, averaged 24 points. That's awesome. I don't think I could ride 24 miles average. That's a high average. That's very good.
Very fast.
So it shows the level all over the world, the increase with cycling.
With cycling, correct. I think it had a lot to do with COVID. People were able to have time and train, and that was the only thing left for some people to do. Go on and ride their bikes. Plus, the health scare, you know, so
Yeah.
everybody wanted to be in shape.
In the female road race, our very own Kaya Katus finished seventh. I think
Seventh.
Kaya actually get her one spell.
Yes, she was.
I spoke to her when she returned and she said that like dead legs she got
Yeah.
a pan.
Yeah.
But you know she finished seventh.
But at least she
And-
tried her thing.
Yes, and Alicia came in 17th.
Okay.
And moving into the males and the males were
Yeah.
yesterday.
Under 23.
Yeah, well, it was I think like 2 races in one. I'm not sure. But
I wasn't sure. Like a lot of people
It
said,
said-
it was very confusing. So I didn't.
it said elite
Uh-huh.
/ U23. So I
Uh-huh.
figure it's you know you get a prize. I think everybody start together and you get your prize in the road race because the TT yesterday.
Well, I started to watch it and it just
Okay,
looked
kinda
confusing.
confused,
So
yeah.
what I kind of did was just shut that off and I went back and watched the replay
Okay.
of your lives.
Okay.
that was
Yeah.
that was more interesting to me.
Yeah. So in the road race, our very own again, Corey Williams finished 8th place.
Yes, yes, nice, very good.
And young Derek Chavaria finished 28th.
Very
Well, we
good.
understand we saw it too, that Oscar had a nasty fall.
That's
you
what I
saw-
heard. I didn't see it. I
you
didn't see
saw-
it.
you saw the
I'll have to
picture
go
of
back
his
and look at it. No, I didn't see a picture. of
That
it.
man back looking and the Lions then, the man look like the Tigers scrape it back and get some serious.
Hopefully we could get some word from Oscar to what exactly
yeah.
happened.
So we hope that Oscar, get well soon. But cyclists are warriors. Cyclists are warriors.
Yes. It's part of the game, man.
Yeah,
Joe.
yeah.
At
Like,
some point in time, you're going to taste the asphalt.
Yeah, exactly. I saw pictures. The young man, Anthony Miller, visited us yesterday, and when his mom showed me the picture of how his mouth may look, I hold my mouth because he look like one tractor run over his face. But the kid is back, and he want to go ride. So it shows how tough cyclists are. Cyclists are really warriors, man. So we have to give big respect. See, Rick, they said that the
live was scheduled
schedule
dropping,
that the race, the UK. So that completes the 4 road races.
Was there 4? What?
It was 4. I covered the first one was Weekend Warriors. The
Uh-huh.
second one was the one in Orange Walk.
Uh-huh.
Third was Guns, and the 4th race.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Huh?
Eric Morales.
Yes.
Yeah, I did mention about.
Yes, but we want to repeat it because that
Oh,
was the first.
okay.
Yes.
Okay. So see, you're right. So
Got you.
yeah, so we had we want to send young Eric Morales.
We want to big him up and
Big
tell
up,
him wish him
make a
speedy recovery.
He had an situation. He's in the US, and he had a situation where he said he thought he would have died, no? And he's recovering. He's back
Yeah.
home. Eric, we want you to recover.
Correct.
My brother, whatever. Take care. I know how you go. The man say that like they walk through the
Walk through the valley
Yeah.
after shadow with that.
Also, well, of course, I want to say a big happy birthday to Miss Rita. Rita Thompson, a member of as a return from this. Miss Rita, happy 50th birthday. Welcome to what? 50 plus.
50 plus club.
Miss Rita, it's wonderful being in 50s. A lot of people don't live for senior age or so. We must feel blessed once we reach
That's
age.
right.
And I actually feel like I had to go down back. Maybe I don't know if I go down to the ground or. Yes, lot I want to touch upon. Then upcoming races. We have Guns. They have a Hills race.
Hills. King of the Hills.
King of the Hills for Weekend Warriors and Guns Riders. The 20th of November. And then the 19th of the November, D. Wade and some guys from the Barrel Boom community or something will have a race in the Barrel Boom area. They can give details. I have D. Wade.
Right. But I'm doing that's a race that's going to finish in a track.
Yes, they do a track.
That's going to be very, very exciting because you take you back to the old days when we used to come into the National Stadium.
Exactly.
Maybe they should have thrown a bit of sand just before you enter.
But I understand.
Or some grass, we used to have to run on some grass or something, just to give it that whole
I think
feel.
a Radler construction, they want to do a nice, when you saw the guys in Bill Road, so they definitely don't do a nice, say Eric, say thanks very much.
Yes,
Eric,
welcome, Eric. Get well, my brother.
Yeah. And then I know Griga will have a race the 12th.
Yes.
No, the 13th of November.
Right, correct. That's the TV Ramos
Yeah.
Memorial, right?
Yeah. Remember when I mentioned about the diabetes ride? Well, they only have one ride.
One ride. Okay, they're on the one day.
And the one day, so I do the 12th.
Correct.
The Saturday and start from
Oh,
5 to the
okay.
So
Okay.
it won't interfere with the race.
The race on the
30th,
Sunday.
On the Sunday, the 30th.
Correct.
Yeah, so
And doing that race, big prizes.
nice prizes too.
Nice
So
prizes for the elites.
they-
I don't know
yeah.
if there's any for females and juniors. And I think there might be for junior. I think I saw for junior, but I'm not sure if there was any female.
Yeah.
However, there's going to be a big showdown in the south, the dirty south.
Yep. So guys, keep their wheels turning, keep their legs fresh.
We never really say exactly how the guns race was going to go. You have any idea what the route is for the guns race?
Well, something. I'll wait for Mr. Guns give he did mention that he can start the Armenia, go to Lomalus, and then come back and finish the road quick. I'm not sure though.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure if you can finish the bottom of Armenia and start at the top of the hill. Some of the riders say you want to start, but if the hills race, some guys they say make it start at the bottom. But definitely, we will get the details and then pass it on to the fans and the
Maybe
supporters.
could have Mr. Guns come in and just explain what it is.
Mr. Guns,
I know, but I mean,
we'll probably get
come in, man.
we'll probably have D-Wade and D-Wade and somebody from the Guns when you explain. Come about 2 years back to back.
Could be with
Yeah,
Sasha or somebody
yeah.
else, yeah. Correct.
I also want to mention, so the stake have raised for my challenge ride. So we have reached $750.
Wow. Let's get it up higher,
So
guys.
I was visited by my good old friend who used to ride, Halit Arnold. He came in, and Carl sent the money. So we're up to 7. Let me tell you how you run. And remember, all the funds raised from this particular.
It's going to a good cause.
Yes, so the money will split between the two families.
The two
but
families,
so far,
right.
let me tell you
Which
who
is the Eddie Osha family and the
Banks family.
and the Kadim Banks family.
Right, yeah. So
Very good initiative, Andrew.
and I'm Andy Bennett.
Uh-huh.
They gave $200.
Right.
I have a good friend from the US. He sent $100, but you know what? I call his name, but I use the initial. His first name begins with B and his surname is S.
Boy, no, but that was so correct, Andrew.
But that's when, yeah. No, but I have to say that's all right.
Well, that's no BS.
Huh?
That's no BS.
No. He have already. Well, I tell you, I mentioned in say.
Big up yourself, BS.
Yeah, he know who he is.
Appreciate it.
The person know who he is. He always contact me, whatever, right? He know who.
I was waiting for it to answer. No, he's not going to say S.
But that's actually his first name starts with a B, and his initial starts with an S. So when I said, but this not sorry, but
well, it's no BS.
But,
it's the real deal, guys. No BS.
So he gave 100. Then Halit Arnold gave $200.
Very, very good.
Carl Arnold gave $200.
Whoa!
Elston Wade gave $50. So we are up to $750.
Correct.
So far.
Correct.
More. So we have some time to raise more funds for these guys. And then Khaled gave me a message, and this is for Fitzgerald Palace.
All right, let me hear this.
Shabazz, I think Shabazz name Earl Tucker, I think that's a real name. And Carl want come to Belize, but they want the race being at the hills. They don't want Palace to win any way, sit down. They want to work on. So Fitzgerald Joseph, the guys that want to take you on up so.
Monkey Pa.
Yes, sir.
Well, so you don't know. Palace might need you as a teammate, but just make sure you raise the stakes, because they give you a hard time over this thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't know that you also walk up Monkey Pa.
Yeah.
But we deal with that down the stretch.
Yeah, man. But we want to big up to all our friends, who the guys guys and I love the show. I mean, so much people call you and tell you they love the show, especially the guys Elaine, I said I can't wait till I come down here and give me good treatment, just like when I go to New York.
Correct.
Project them start Belize.
Well, as the wheels turn, it's international now.
Yep. Yeah.
This is not a local show, it's an international show.
Yeah, I see the Caribbean.
Paris, London, Munich.
I see the Caribbean people, they watch it too.
Japanese, I hear people from Taiwan.
Yeah.
I believe somebody was saying they were some part of Switzerland or some part of the world watching it. So
yeah, man. Okay.
definitely got international.
So we'll take a short break when we come back. We'll have a guest and we'll have giveaways.
That's right.
Yeah,
Money coming up.
Yep. So we'll be back, guys.
The rest.
Hear me now. This is a Soul Fire production. Soul Fire production.
as the wheels turn. Every Thursday night at 6:30 as the wheels turn. Racing through the streets and through the hills as the wheels turn. Every Thursday night we pedaling as the wheels turn. Streaming live with Ordonez, so yes. I sit and watch as the wheel turns. My bike is where I get my thrill. Up and down, riding through the hills. I have no fear as I climb and change my gear. Through the valley so steep, now we on the street. Yeah. As the wheels turn. Every Thursday night at 6:30 as the wheels turn. Racing through the streets and through the hills as the wheels turn. Every Thursday night we pedaling as the wheels turn. Streaming live with Ordonez, so yes.
Come back.
So sorry.
Welcome back. No stranger to As the Wheel Turns. He's a member of the As the Wheel Turns family. I mean the family. Welcome, Alan. I will.
Thank you. Thank you very
Tonight,
much.
you don't guess.
Tonight I don't
Yes.
guess.
Yeah.
Actually, I might be a little bit hoarse. Actually, I'm there. I'll tell you guys, I'm there at volleyball game. Earlier, my daughter played Belize District High School Championship for Belize High Schools. They St. Catherine's beat them, but
How they don't know about these things, man? They don't make these things so much more public.
they let the students know. But they should advertise.
I mean, I would love to go and watch a volleyball game. I think.
I agree. Actually, when it comes to certain entertainment at night, they used to have sprints race out the national stadium. Remember when the on the track we used to have track race. They used to have race at night.
Yeah.
Under the lights, devil takes the hindmost.
Yeah.
All of that, nothing like that happened again. But yeah, actually my daughter Hannah, the one with a cyclist, but her first sport of volleyball.
Okay.
So cycling is just a second sport, but yeah man.
You know, take me plan.
But I'm happy. I have an older daughter with that Taiwan who is a footballer, but no Hannah.
Hannah
Volleyball. Actually, my older daughter Chloe, she used to play high school football.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very active family.
I tell you, look at I had an NBA, right? You know what that NBA, right? Natural born athlete. We are a natural born athlete in my family.
That's no BS.
No BS.
So Alan, we have some issues we want to talk about, but first of all, we want to get this. We want to give a prize. We want question and answer tonight.
Yes.
So we want to give us some prize. So I don't know if you guys ready for the.
Are you ready? Are you ready for the Q&A?
Question.
Hold on a minute.
Okay.
By the way, happy birthday, Miss Rita.
Yes, big up.
Yeah man, big up.
So the tech guys say make a hold on.
Well, Alan, a lot of people don't know this, but you are also a cycling coach. I don't know, level 1 or level 2, something like that.
Level 2 cycling coach. And at the time when I acquire my level 2 certificate, I don't know where the paper get to, by the way, but yes, I did pass my course. I had signed an agreement with the National Olympic Committee that they would send me to get trained as a coach, and in exchange I would commit 4 years to the Belize Cycling. At that time it was association.
Right.
I served my 4 years, And after that, you know, I
And
kind of fade in the background.
Yeah, but one of the reasons why I brought it up is because we have a lot of certified coaches around here, and we don't take
Yeah.
advantage of these guys. And I mean, if you know, maybe now that some people know maybe it's gonna hit you up, but I just think that if you have that wealth of knowledge and thing, why are we sitting on these things?
I think a lot of guys know that I coach, because I have done coaching seminars privately for junior teams.
Because there's a lot to be taught, Alan. I mean, one of the biggest thing to me out here is that most of these guys don't know their gear ratio. When you begin to talk about points and things, they don't know any idea what you're talking about. I remember clearly from early days, yes, you could teach a guy, but there's also a time when you take a paper and a pen and go in like a class. And also is to have a log.
No, well, yeah, the coaching, well, a lot of it is in our classroom setting. I mean, actually coaching out on the road, that more strategy, but actually setting up a training plan. You know, I mean, if you're on a team, you could go out on a ride and discuss training. I do that with some cyclists sometimes. I do it with my son now. You know, we go out on a ride, and while we ride, I talk to him about how to set up a training plan. But otherwise, you do it, you know, sit down at a desk kind of thing and come up with one plan. Actually, one of the things Rich, about setting up one plan for race is that you actually have to have an off season. And one of the things that Weekend Warriors has done is they bring races nearly every week.
Every 2 weeks.
Guns and Weekend Warriors make racing happen year round. It is actually a detriment to improving, because to improve you really need to get off the bike and do some cross training. You have to make your body refresh at the end of a racing season. You have to really allow yourself to refresh physically and then build back up, including with cross training, like you know, running and playing other sports, lifting weights, different things, and then get back on the bike and build back up. So when you have races year round, it actually it makes the sport go backwards. Actually, you know, I know. By having more activity, it seems as if they advance the sport, but they prevent the athletes from raise their level, because they don't get a chance to build back the ones who want to race, because racing is always more fun, right? Racing more exciting and more fun. Now, so stop race and build back up, and we are race again in 3 months' time. The pros do it. You notice all the big time pros.
Yeah.
They race their last race.
And they have
the last big classics time about 3-4 weeks ago. They not get a race again till next March. They take about 4 months off. They not the rest. They might take 2 weeks vacation, 2 or 3 weeks vacation, then they're back at it, and they are trained about 3 months, 4 months before they start to race again.
But if I may say that, Mr. Guns and Weekend Warriors, they're not for the elite, they're not for the regular.
Not for the regular.
They're guys, so they're not really.
Yeah.
They're not provide race for development.
For the elite riders.
Elite riders have to.
So the elite riders need more race.
They need more race.
They need more race.
Yes,
And then when they do have the race, it needs to be within one racing season,
yeah.
rather than year round. Yeah. True.
So next time I see Mr. Alan, but I want to stop and ask her for these points that are. Well, Alan, I would love to see you. I would love to see you really do something with it, because it's very necessary for us to go in cycling in this country. And if we have people like you and a couple more that I know of that are out there, why not take advantage?
You know, we have a lot of older guys too who have a wealth of knowledge.
Of course.
That's what we're saying,
of course.
guys.
Actually, I could tell you that at the time when I went and took my training, Macho Smiling, Albert Jones is one with a lot of knowledge at Macho Smiling. He has a lot of knowledge, and he has the same credentials that I have. Warren Coy, he's very, very versed in our training. Actually, my good friend Roque Matos, they broke his streak, by the way. And I'm bringing more. They hadn't lost in in a few months. But they broke his streak with Atlee Lozano. Look like he broke his streak. But Roque Matos, when he may, when he was young and just coming out, they used to call him the bookman because he used to go by the book. He used to study and read proper training techniques. And every time you ask Roque, like, what are you gonna do tomorrow? Well, the book say. Yeah. The book says. So that was his nickname back in the day, Bookman.
Perry Gibson to the one.
Perry Gibson, I think Perry Gibson, he surpassed what me and Macho did. He got a level, he probably is level 3.
Okay.
So was Albert Jones.
I wasn't aware that
Albert level 3.
But I
think he got his certification in Colorado.
I got mine in Colorado as well, Colorado Springs, which is the U.S. National Olympic Training Center.
Gotcha.
Macho got his at the Canadian Olympic Training Center. And I think when Perry did his, at least his level 2, was at the Mexican Olympic Training Center. I don't know if he learned Spanish while there.
But what I'm saying, we have these things. These guys, you guys are still alive. Why aren't we taking advantage of these things? I know I will. Because I already made some contacts and things, and I'm a push my people. Once say
you make it sound like all we guys are still alive.
Nobody guaranteed to live to a certain age or give or guarantee that will get old. So
remember when Kaya tell you though? Kaya say Mr. Awil, and when you talk about it,
yes,
when you start to write and when ban it or something else, right? That thing that way you mentioned.
Maybe the man they have a issue with getting older.
I get younger. One of my colleagues at work tell me, actually just yesterday, he said, boss, we're here today, gone tomorrow. I said, man, I prefer the following day, not tomorrow.
Tomorrow never comes.
At least give me an extra day after tomorrow. But yes, I mean, we're still here.
Guys, I just wait for the signal for the giveaways. So.
Yes, we're waiting. I know you guys are.
Is the phone go ahead?
Yeah, is the phone okay? All right.
All right.
So we can get into the giveaways, guys.
Yes, we're waiting on the technicians.
So the first prize. Wait the bottle.
What's the first prize? What's the bottles?
It's a bottle again, a beautiful bottle.
As the wheel turn bottle.
Bottle, yeah, given away by.
Mr. and Mrs. Spence.
Right, Mr. and Mrs. Spence. Dave and Gail Spence. And the first prize, we want to give the prize a quick so.
Let's go.
In Sunday's race, if people will watch it live, I kept mentioning about 2 bicycles. Give me the name of the 2 bicycles. I mean, I just mentioned it.
The brand.
2 brand. I just say.
He mentioned it in the race on Sunday.
Yes, and
it's riding it.
Somebody tell me say.
And then it was riding it beautiful.
Yeah.
So it was clear in the live.
So two name of two nice bikes. I did mention it. So
yes.
Give you those 2 names and you win yourself this beautiful bottle.
You can make it tough on us who that riders, but we are left.
No. I'm going to prize a quick. So
let's get it quick. Let's go, guys.
I know more. Rudge the one of them.
Philip,
that bike I know about the name.
No, so I can't say a word.
Boy.
Roger, why is that the right pan?
Yeah.
It's right through the bar.
You know, sir, and I was thinking about it. I was saying, man, I was biking that because they have a thing on Facebook, Believe in the Old Days. So I was going to ask everybody, what bike did you have?
When it comes to a racing bike, everything used to be Benotto. And then you maybe even find 1 or 2 rally because, we are British colonies. So you have to leave British bike.
We have to tell the word correct.
No. Once they figure out what they say, what are they?
Where Chris says Colnago and Cannon.
Yep,
correct.
That's it.
Canyon.
Canyon, yeah. That's it. Well, Chris,
Yes, correct. The canyon is owned by Santino's rider.
Yeah, you are the lucky winner of this.
Mr. Daniel Cano. And of course our own Willie Boy. Colnago.
That's a nice
You said, boy, look at that. You went and put the camera right on the screen. So, you have to have seen that.
First winner. The second prize is a pie given by Mr. Ruben Martinez, as usual. Mr. Ruben Martinez.
Pie.
A pie and
By who? No other than
Huh?
3.14
Yes,
pies.
3.14 pies.
You mean?
So this one is easy too, and it circulates around the race Sunday. So
Okay.
make sure I'm gonna say for the listen. Name 3 of the riders that was in the 7-man break in the weekend race Sunday.
3
Name
of the riders that was in the 7-man break.
Sunday.
So if you,
Sunday,
if, you
that's
know the
easy.
top, if you know the top 3,
Huh?
if you know the top 3 that night, right?
That I did.
And I think you call the names of the top
Well, that's
3.
why
right?
we want to
Right.
get I get on.
3 of the 7 guys that forced the break or win the break.
Yeah. So that's
Come on, that's the easy guys. Easy pie.
Easy pie. Delicious pie. The only
There's
thing is,
just pie there by 3.14 pies.
yeah, the winners are normally for a slice to me, you know.
Yeah.
EV12, come on, ring the bell. Fernando Rosado. EV12, come on.
Yep. Correct.
All right.
Correct.
But you know, Ordonez, when they announce the winners of the B class, mention
The TV and the-
Gravel Young and Tyrone Green, then 2 ballet, they no business of be. Hello, Tyrone, Gravel, move up that A, brother. No chance.
Well, Gribbles ran
A
very well.
straight up chance. Anyway,
Question number
that
3.
one.
Yeah.
Question number 3, and again, this one here, I win a battle again. This battle by Mr. and Mrs. Spence, Gail Spence, Dave and Gail Spence. And the question is, easy one again. What cycling competition did our riders attend in the DR? Name the competition, and you win yourself a battle. Easy.
That's right. It was just this weekend,
Just,
guys.
yeah.
On Sunday and Saturday.
DR, that Dominican Republic.
Dominican Republic.
If you know that, you don't know the answer anyway.
So
Another Tour de France, by the way.
name the event, and you win yourself that battle.
If they give the abbreviation.
Yeah.
They can.
Well, the kid, Steven Sylvester says CCC,
That's it.
and beneath it has Caribbean Cycling Championship from Tessie Boo. So who you gonna give that? Steven Sylvester said CCC, 3 C's, got it correct?
Yep. So I'm be there. The CCC, Caribbean Cycling Championship.
Caribbean Cycling Championship.
Huh?
You just want the abbreviation.
That's the abbreviation for that, yeah.
Yeah. Caribbean Cycling Championship, right?
Well, you know, I think he knew that CCC, that Caribbean Cycling Championship, you know, but it's faster for time, it's faster for him. It's faster for right that team. So, but he didn't worry about speed.
Speed.
That is like cycling, it's all about speed, right?
They show that for cycling fans, and so you have to.
Alright.
And so I tell them,
It's
please
about speed.
Get educated, pay attention to all kind of things, because something might just pop up.
Alright.
Because then people give prize, and they just want to give away the prize. So
Alright.
again, that battle was the prize was.
And then the flower says CCC can mean anything.
You're talking, yeah, Lenny, you are right, but it's a Caribbean Cycling Championship, and we just mentioned that.
But he did follow up with it.
Okay, alright, okay.
CCC, and so
Yep.
let's just type right underneath it again.
Alright, good.
Caribbean Cycling Championship.
All right. So now the fourth question, easy. This one at $25 by Mr. Ruben Martinez.
Ruben. Imanes.
And we get quick too, because we're getting a quick draw. This is easy $25. When did Alfred Parks rode his first cross country? Oh, by the way, Halit Arnold brought this for me. It's what call this? Obituary of the great Alfred P. Parks. A lot of memories in here. I see a lot of faces. I know it's a long time ago. I saw one of my old classmates and Andrew Gill. You know this picture here. A lot of faces. Nice, and then I read what I call it, the eulogy or whatever. Nice words, nothing nice, everything nice when I say about Alfred Parks is such a winning boat. Thank you, Halet, again. And his going home was a very well attended.
I think they also had a ride for him in
the layer, yes, in the layer, yeah.
So that was good.
So thanks again, Halet. I think even Halet, they mentioned Halet in here, Carl, they mentioned Shabazz. But what year? In what year did Alfred rode his first cross country and he won himself $25?
$25 on the line, guys.
You can ring this bell quick.
Sparks. First
Ring the
class.
bell, ring the bell.
We got a winner.
Who's the winner?
Mark Castellanos.
Mark Castellanos.
Correct. You are a lucky winner of $25.
So you just pick that up at Ordonez Bike Shop.
Smacker
And the
Rouge.
price is, yep. So, and the price again, Ruben Martinez, the man will continue for support cycling car. I say, I will
Correct.
support Mr. Guns.
Mr. Imanes himself.
Yes, yes, the sponsor of the Imanes cycling team.
Big up yourself, Ruben.
Moving on to question number 5. We have 6 prizes tonight. So moving on to number 5, and this is a pie, and it's also given by Ruben Martinez again.
Nice.
Yes. Name the 3 officials that went to the team to the Caribbean Championship.
The 3 officials that went to the Caribbean Championship.
Who went to support our riders, very experienced guys. So name the 3 officials that travel along with our
That should
cycling
be
team.
fairly easy for most.
Delegation. The
delegation, yeah. Delegation.
So that would include at least coach and
Urson, Perry, and Dion.
That's correct.
Right. Kedisha?
Kedisha who?
Kids Keddy KG.
Oh, well, let's make sure we're in. So, that's correct. Mr. Urson Butler,
We come
the
and say,
president.
we will come and show him, Justin father name too. I'm Mr. Glenn.
But no, they're
but they don't have an official delegation.
Okay.
So they
Also, members of the.
But you know, we have to big them too because they
Yeah.
can support Kalimar.
Correct.
He always struggle with his sons, and Mr.
Yeah.
Flowers always struggle to support the riders. The last question of the night. Easy. $25 again. Ruben Martinez again.
Boy.
Ruben Martinez always supporting. Big up yourself, Ruben. Who won the last major race run by the CFB, the Cycling Federation of Belize? Name the rider that won the last major race.
Held by the CFB.
Well, actually run by the CFB, not really sponsored by the CFB.
Right.
Yeah. But,
Sanction.
Sanction. Thank you, Alan, for always winning.
That's why he's the coach.
That's why he's the coach. Huh? So name that rider, and you win yourself $25. And this prize.
Who is our winner? Ring the bell.
Fishable.
That would have to be the Santino's Classic, no?
Oscar.
Or no?
Oscar,
Oscar,
correct.
yes, that's the
Oscar.
correct answer. So,
That's
So-
the
No, not Santino, sorry.
yes.
I still call it Santino's Classic, but that is September Classic now.
September
When
class.
it started, it was
September-
for
this
the
is not-
first several years of its
Please correct
existence.
out. This one was the these are the BTB
Correct. That's why I correct myself. I said Santino's Classic because the one.
in your mind.
Yeah, because for the first several years they had this event. It was sponsored by Santino's and it
Okay.
became known as
So,
the
yeah.
Santino's Classic.
But this
But,
one
yeah.
was sponsored by the
So the September Classic
Yeah,
sponsored
September
by
Classic.
Yeah.
the Belize
Yeah.
Tourism Board.
tourism board. So I want to pick up the tourism board.
So Santino get free publicity from it. The woman,
I cut that check.
the woman's nothing.
I need
I let's go pays for me. The next time I line up instead of me pays for you pays for me. I'll call it even.
So we want to thank each and everyone taking part in the question and answer, all the winners and all the sponsors of that event. Definitely want to thank you for keeping cycling alive, the fans in tune. So fans, what we tell you, please pay attention to everything surrounding cycling because we might shub so, we might bring something out of the ceiling, we might bring something under the ground.
You never know what it's
So
going to
never know,
be.
sure.
Have a notepad and pen.
Yeah.
I'll take notes.
And
And your Google.
and some I think will get used again, you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah. So Alan, the reason you may forget last week, okay, all right, okay, yeah. Definitely, I'll give Mike Macho have it, yeah.
So that's his brother?
Yeah, Macho Castellanos.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So, Alan, 2 weeks ago, Santi, my sponsor a race where Mr. Guns may cover live, and he was talking about the, the chaotic thing on the road.
Yeah.
Being a
Farmer.
coach and
A former
Official.
commissaire,
Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
what are some of the correction that you would make to make the road safer for both cyclists and commuters?
Well, I think, when it comes to safety, first of all, one of the things a commissaire need to instruct and the rider need to be aware of is that if it's not a big classic like cross country, is the one day where it is announced that the road is closed to vehicular traffic. It doesn't mean that you can't drive on the highway, that the whole highway from Belize to San Ignacio is closed. They have what they call a rolling closure. In other words, it's closed as the race passes along. So where the race is, meaning from the front vehicle, it's a lead police vehicle, until the rear vehicle, which normally is either another police at the end of the caravan or an ambulance at the end of the caravan. That's the race. The race will take up 70 miles of highway.
Yeah.
The race go from the vehicle that leads the front to the last vehicle in the service. So that's the race. Where that race rolls, the highway is closed. So as they roll, the lead vehicle instructs cars to come off.
Yeah.
That only officially, that rolling closure is only official one day of the year, which is the cross country. But the other major federation, cycling federation classics, although it is unofficial, the lead vehicle normally does direct traffic off. But for lesser races, what we need to understand is that we are just traffic, just like a car, truck, or bus on the highway. And if we are only traffic on the road, then we have to stay in our lane. The main thing is that cyclists have to remain in the right-hand side of the road, because the left lane, cars are passing, not only coming head-on, but even passing you from behind. So I remember one New Year's classic where I attacked out of the bunch around by Biscayne area. And as I jump out, I attacked, out of the bunch, and I gone into the left lane. And as I do it, there was a vehicle overtaking the race that the officials, and I can hear it because, with the breeze in your ear. And that's the other thing that maybe fans aren't aware of, but cyclists know, that the faster you go, the breeze in your air make you not always hear traffic coming from behind you. You can see traffic in front, but you can't hear or see the traffic behind you all the time. I remember this race, I jumped out and one vehicle brushed me, inches. And, my heart skipped one beat. I mean, I'm frightened. But we need to stay in our lane, and as a commissaire, there is really only one way to control it, and it is the one way that Belizean officials tend not to want to do, and that is disqualification. In every sport I see in Belize, I got a basketball game, a civic, and guys on the court get in a fight. I see game apart. They push referee. Where part they disrespect one referee. Where part man the fight and then want eject players. Same thing on a football pitch, but same thing in a cycling. And one of the arguments when I was a commissaire, there were races where I disqualify cyclists.
Well,
And where people in the executive committee would tell me, like, I can talk to the man. No talk. It's not about talk. You have to, But this a brand name cyclist. It really doesn't matter. When you disqualify, when you start to disqualify, man, instead of just talk, why get in our lane. When you start to disqualify, man, you out of the race, out. They want to start to get a sense.
Mr. Guns was so upset that he said, "Oh, if me left up to him, he disqualified and because he repeated over."
You know, one time as commissaire again in a big race, one classic, and when they talk weekend warriors or guns, we talk about elite race. As commissaire, I halted a race. I don't remember what year, but I'm sure Michael Lewis would remember. That was Labor Day, May 1st race, and it was chaos. And there were a couple close brushes with vehicles passing the race. And I was warning riders, I kept warning riders, stay in our lane. And I actually, the reason I said Michael would remember is because Michael was out front running by himself. He had one gap over the field. And I went out. And then time we used to come here on motorbike, not in vehicles. Okay. Remember, everything used to be on motorbike back in the day. And I went out and I get off the bike and I flat down Michael. Michael, that like, he don't know what happened. He's in the middle of one classic, one race. And this is not a liter, it's a race or one Saturday afternoon race. This is a classic. So I flag her down. And Michael pull the brakes and might have fly one or two bad word ball and when you do, I had to run. What happened? And I got him to stop, and then the pack come up halfway, and I got them to stop, and I tell them, listen, me and my crew, all the officials, we want to abandon this race. We don't have no race if we don't continue to do what you're doing. Have to stay in our lane. I mean, I don't remember in my entire time following races, I've never, apart from that one time, I must say they stopped one race. Middle of the race.
Yeah, I think
like 40, 50 miles into the race, stop our race, lecture everybody, and tell them, if you don't stop, I want to start to disqualify.
I think Mr. Bowman did it.
Bowman did it once. Well, I know I did it once, and then when we resumed, I had time, the gap that Michael had.
Give him back his time.
I gave him back his time, and then after I timed him off, then I let the peloton resume their chase. But it boils down to penalties. If there's no penalty, nobody will observe the rule. And there's only one penalty to impose, DQ. Yeah. You out. You can't tell them I want to dock you $25 or points or time. They don't want tour, so you can't dock time. You can't relegate because it's not at the end for a sprint. So the only thing is riders being put out of the race, and then we have to have the discipline that when we tell our rider they're out, that they are out. Because again, our sportsmen in Belize feel that they don't have to observe and obey officials. So when you tell them you're out of the race, you can't put me out, and they stay in there. So we need to have one way for discipline that. And the way for discipline that
stop the race.
Suspension. No, stop the race. If one rider is told that you're disqualified and he refuses to get out, you need other recourse, which could be, you have to take a month off if you don't obey. Or 3 months off if you don't obey. You don't line up the next classic if you don't obey. But basically, and the officials then have to have support from the higher body, which would be, whether Weekend Warriors, Guns, or Federation, they have to have the support then from the governing body that, listen, my commissaire put so-and-so under suspension or disqualified, and we stand by him.
Yeah. So where Dennis last night? Say he remember Saturday race, 2 p.m. Saturday 2004, they cancelled it.
Yeah.
Race due to repeated crash.
And well, Saturday afternoon race, that a small race. I'm telling you, I do it in one classic, one Labor Day classic. But it is necessary. Andrew, when it comes to Saturday afternoon race, I remember when those came to a halt, Melvin Torres, the president, I think at the time, and he was used to run the Saturday afternoon races, because we used to have Saturday afternoon races for the elites.
Okay.
You know, every afternoon, remember? Every Saturday. But you remember the one repart, there was one, at finishing sprint repart, there's one rider slam into a pickup truck at the finish line.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yes,
And that put a stop to Saturday afternoon race. And they blame the driver of the vehicle who had stopped, when in fact he was just driving in his lane, heading out towards Belmopan. And when he saw a race, they come in, and the crowds up on the side, so he couldn't pull off. All he could do was stop where the finish line was, but he stopped in his right-hand side. The race that coming in were on his left and should have remained on their right. But one rider come out of a lane and this guy head buried down, sprint and slam into the truck.
I know it'll be funny, right? But you know who the culprit for all this? You know who the culprit?
I don't know, you tell me, educate me.
Mr. Breeze. Mr. Breeze. Because what happened, they try from a echelon, and so everybody tries, you know, for
well, that's what I was going to say to Andrew, somebody said earlier too, the size of the peloton.
But now listen to me.
Yeah,
Normally, they will form a second echelon and a third echelon.
Alright, but we don't do that, I believe.
Yeah.
But then,
We just go to the edge. But you have to think that out the center line that the road edge. Basically, the center line that your road edge. And again, I could tell you a story about a Belmopan Classic that I was commissaire. And I think that my Belchai at the time had Robert Mariano and Ian Smith. And then they drive it down the center of the road. And they did it because the center line was the road edge, but everybody drifting to the left. So Ian and Robert, who the pace, that the only one on the right. And then they try put a road edge for everybody, but the road edge that is center line.
So you say, you know, if
So I warned everybody. I said, you know, have to come across. You lean on the left lane, you can't do that. And I up and down the peloton till eventually nobody listened to me, right? I had a commissaire, but nobody listened to me. So I got up to Robert and Ian, and I said, Robert, I give nobody 2 miles. Stick it on the left, make nobody give a sense of what our road edge. I said, I give you 2 miles, and then you bring it back. But 2 miles, do what you want. Because if everybody left on the left, and you are the only ones on the right, it's not fair to them who are pacing.
right.
But then they pace so hard that everybody have to shelter. So they look for me and they stick it on the left and bust up the race. Like dynamite busting in the middle. Smithereens! And because the only reason the pack could stay with them was because they could shelter into the left lane. So when they gone on the true edge of the road, it busts up. And then the second commissaire at the time, I'm Melvin Torres. I was the chief commissaire. Melvin Torres don't know the instruction I gave to Ian and Robert. Melvin got up and disqualified him for the race. Melvin said there on the left. And Melvin said, "Oh, can't they out of the race," and they start to rail up with me, but that was all I'm telling me to do it. Anyway, chaos. But you know, it just shows you that really it's not fair to the riders who are observing the rule. If the sheltering could happen on the left, you know, these guys really, if they want to put one road edge, they could have gone way to the road edge, but they observe the rule. So, you know, for keep the race fair, if the guys up on the center line, everybody should be on the center line.
A situation where, yes, I understand.
Disqualification is the answer.
Yeah, right, but let's remember this.
Suspensions if you don't want to come out, that's the answer.
But they're so skinny.
Yeah.
And if you have teams now, if you put 3-4 men out the front there, they can block off the whole thing, lock off the front there.
Pros ride pan narrower roads.
Yep.
That way we have the belief. I watch race pan TV.
And I'm telling
When
you,
it happen in France, in Croatia. I don't know if you were saying one tour of Croatia last month.
Yeah.
And then they ride pan narrower roads than what we have. Kind of like Mascal Road.
Yeah, I call it
Right?
road.
But they race on narrower roads, right? But one other thing with the pros, they might indeed have the road closed off. Our right lane, pros race on narrower roads than the right lane. But we talk about safety, Rich.
Yeah, I agree with you.
We talk about one vehicle could knock you down and you may die.
I agree, because we didn't have this a couple of years. Honestly, we never have this issue a couple of years back. And all of a sudden it had become a big issue now. I don't know why, but I remember, because what it affects servicing. You can't pull up and, or the other day I stopped the head, they pick one bus me up, but I tell them, we can't pass.
It will continue to happen unless there is a penalty.
All right.
You got rules. So the rule is center line rule. Yes, Lincoln Phillips is say it's called center line rule, meaning that the road up on the right hand side of the road only, we don't own the entire road. So the center line is your edge of your road. But nobody want to observe that rule if you don't put a penalty. That's it. You observe rules because there's penalties. And the penalty should be DQ. Now, who not observe DQ should get suspension. And that's it. If you know, otherwise, what you want to do? Talk till the race done. If nothing happen, then nothing change, basically.
One next issue to, do you believe that the team should carry out people that know cycling about servicing? Because if you carry out this one average Joe off, I think, and then go drive behind a race, he have no idea how the race is being run. So the drivers of the service vehicle need to have a good understanding of the cycling rules and how you operate, because I understand some riders complain and said sometimes when the service vehicle go up, they're only supposed to go and give and come back, but they spend a whole long time there, and so they clog up the part.
Yeah, but and that could be penalized as well. So the officials still have one role. Yes, as one team, you need to educate your serviceman. Not only about how they go up, go service and stay there, but sometimes they go to the front where they shouldn't be. And I've been in races this year where the service on the right side where should be a safe zone. So riders normally expect traffic outside a cyclist, vehicular traffic there on the left, and then so you keep the watch the left for say cars that come up or motorcycles that come up. You don't expect one motorbike or one pickup truck for the pass up and right. But sometimes when everybody stagger across to the left and the uneducated servicemen see that everybody they drift off to the left and they see the opening on the right, so they go push their way up there. But cyclists always expect that to be one safe area where they know no traffic there. And so when one motorbike go up there, it causes accidents. And it could cause broken bones.
Do you think maybe we should exclude motorcycles from servicing, or should we go back to that?
I just said that service members could be penalized the same way how we talk about put penalty on cyclists, you put penalty on motorcycles as well, and vehicles. You tell them, this is your last warning. You warn them first, and if they don't observe the warning, you out of the race. Out of the race means you can't service your team, and so your cyclists suffer. And so it in your interest for observe the rules as well. Not just the cyclists have to observe rules, servicemen have to observe rules. Their penalty is same as one cyclist, DQ. DQ means you're not permitted for go service. And so who suffer? Your own team who you did it for try help. And I've been in a situation where the service disregard my instruction. I warn you once, I warn you twice, I warn you a third time, and the last warning is you can't service, and the man say, yeah, but then my man needs service, so me no care what you tell me going up. And then I go to the cyclist and tell her, if you take service from a truck, you won't get disqualified. So then, if the serviceman not observe the rule, and he insists he going to get man because the man are dead if he not get a bottle of water. But it could have get a bottle of water if you only listen to your official. Because you fail to listen to the official, you get disqualified. Because you fail to listen once, twice, 3 times, you strike out. So really, like your hard-headedness put you out of the race. And then you blame the official. The official caused me for can't service my man, so now my man want dead a heat stroke. That's basically what the cry to me is, that you the cause my man for dead a heat stroke. No, you the cause it. And then if you insist to go up, I have gone to the cyclist and told the cyclist, I could provide neutral service to you. I could have one of my officials bring up water to you. But if you take it from your truck, you out of the race.
All right.
Because I don't disqualify your truck. Tell your truck stay at the back. And if it come up and you know, I can't control the driver. Only the police can control the madmen in a pickup. But I tell you that if you accept battle from your truck, you out. If you need a battle, make a know. I want to get somebody for go get it for you. So I don't left the man. I don't abandon one cyclist.
That's correct.
But again, it's all about penalties. You have to put the disqualification penalty. And if you don't, nobody observe rules.
Well,
plain and simple.
basically, the CFB is the other one that use radio or in car radios to other that these other races, they don't have no way to say, well, okay, call up this team for car for come up. So basically, only CFB they do that right now. In the open races, they don't have that control of the race. So basically, that every man for themselves.
No, you could still direct them up with hand signals. You have to find a way.
So
You have to find a way, and then Rich Macatello. You talk about 50-mile race. If you don't talk CFB, if you talk guns or weekend warriors, you talk 40, 50, or 60-mile race. So that shorter races, and they don't need for that service throughout the way CFB needs it. CFB needs it because they ride 100-mile race, right? So if you ride one, you remember to again. I mean, I go back in the day. We never used to that. The way they have it now, not just in Belize but worldwide. Service closed for the first X amount of miles. The standard is the first 30. If a hilly terrain or extremely hot day, you could cut it back from 30 and call it 20 or but that call to be made by the commissaire. Once it open, generally it's open right through to the last 10. In the 70s and 80s and 90s, we never used to do that. We used to open it for 10 miles, then it closed for 10, then it opened for 5, then it closed for 10, then it opened for 5, then it closed for 10.
Yeah.
Remember when we used to do it like that?
right.
We don't use to announce zone open, zone close, zone open, zone close. And when it open, a madhouse, because you have to get through your service before it close again. So what I'm saying is, for a shorter race, they don't need for that no open throughout. That's how you got, set one set of service because that's a short race anyway.
The riders have to start use their pouch, their pockets.
Nobody I get in a race and man laugh at me because I got bottle in my pocket. They don't know when the pocket, they think the pocket only for gel.
Well, somebody find us because I saw Skinny with a big bottle with everyone with the bottle. And it worked because
I line up in a race with 2 bottles on my bike and 2 bottles in my back.
That's how I do too. I always go. But when they see me the ride, they say, "Where are you going? You going to do a marathon?" I say, "Listen to me. I go in prepared.
And if my vehicle don't get to me, what you think I want to do?
Some
I got my service with
So
me.
maybe they could start and do say, here what guys, on the pan own, all we and the Odessa, that for mechanical, on the carry all on the food, all on the drinks, car, no depend on
correct,
you. Boy,
correct.
Yeah.
I bet you has a lot of man surprised. Well, next thing I'm going to crack and joke and say, I have Lone Hills race.
Bus up, bus up, a 1-1. So you don't need to spread across the road, because you got a road, you can stay on the road.
Let's not cross the road and then like this.
But if you talk about his race, if you talk about his race, like you send them man in jail because they can't man born like that.
But the main thing is that I think the organization, the cyclists, and the officials need to understand safety come first.
Exactly. We don't want to see anybody get hurt.
And we don't want nobody get hurt.
Or even killed.
And we have to force you to be safe. That basically what it is, you know. That like the cyclists say they don't have no regard for their life, and we just say, but please have regard for your life. That like we beg them for have regard for their own life and health and well-being. And they, you know, they got wife and pick them home where they say,
crazy.
please take care of the husband, please take care of the man. And we just say, yes, we try to do it, but he don't want to take care of himself. So if you want to force it, it has to be with penalties.
I see an individual did it on curve. And I'm like, yo.
You mean like come out into the left lane?
Yes, on a curve.
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, we take risk. You know, as one athlete, you just think, well, try win the race, they compete. You just think about that
A little
competition.
advantage, yeah.
But we have to realize that we only own our right lane because we have traffic, just like one car. All we could do is stick to our right lane because our left lane, that for overtakers and for traffic going the other way. And penalties are the only way for enforcing.
Always happen. It's like a lot of race finish at Old Belize. When I come off of the bridge, for some reason cyclists like the pin and
Yes. Right before the gas station.
the driver
Yeah.
when they come in, I think he in a free lane.
Yeah.
You know, when he come on a cyclist in a free lane, where he for do? For go on the next side or run off the road?
And one lot of the time, there is no vehicle in front because you know, if you're limited with vehicles, the outward part, maybe the breakaway, you know, is. And so if you're 1 minute, 2 minutes behind the breakaway, you might be a bunch coming without one lead vehicle in front of you. So when that first group pass, that the lead vehicle don't alert that, you know, race the car, they get back on the road and continue drive. And then that second bunch, that third bunch where the car don't have no lead vehicle,
right.
no more protection in front of it, stay in a lane.
Well, I travel a lot with the Cycling Federation and pan trips, and out there, then people don't play. When I tell you to do something that
You do it.
they're gonna whistle. They're gonna whistle.
You're out.
You're out.
DQ.
Exactly.
DQ. There is only one way that DQ. That's the only way.
If the gap is a certain distance, if you're there 5 minutes behind, I tell you not get back out.
Sometimes you give a warning, and again, I've had this as commissaire. I had this situation where I tell when we have a meeting before, you know, before a big race that I have one meeting. Right now they don't have a meeting again. They just send out an email with what they call a technical guide, and they only have a meeting for cross country. I used to have a meeting before every big classic, and I used to tell them about things that would warn and then disqualify. You have to get a warning. But then this is the tricky part. The first man broke the rule, you won. Second man broke the rule, you won again. Why I want to won 120 man in our race? Everybody got a chance to be warned. They can't do that. So I tell them, listen, I want to warn. But I want to get to that. Mr. Ayuso, I want to get to that right now. With the top about something else right now first. But you can't warn everybody in a peloton. So you warn the peloton. First warning, not do this. Second warning, not do that. Third, out. Even if they never one of the first two man do the infraction.
Right.
It could be a different man, and they say, but you only want he. Yes, I want he, I want everybody. When I want he, I'm going to want everybody. The second warning, when I want he, I'm going to want everybody. The third man do the infraction, out. Fourth, everybody else after that, out. disqualified, because you can't have everybody, a peloton, or a 70, 80 man peloton, cross country, 120 man. I go in this one and try and remember who don't get warning, and everybody get one chance to break the rule before they get disqualified. No. So, people need to observe the rules and need to understand that they're out of the race. When they understand that they're out of the race, then they want to think more, observe the rule. Is motor pacing allowed after a puncture and wheel change? Apparently it is. So maybe we need to move away from that, but apparently
that is my question. What's your take on motor pacing?
I believe that when you get punctured, that is one natural part of the race, and you should chase.
Correct.
And I know that when you reach the caravan, you allow riders to work their way through the caravan, and you could stay up to a minute behind any vehicle before you move and go to the next vehicle in front. You can't stay longer than 1 minute. But even in races where they allow you to draft, one thing they're not allowed is to draft behind your own service vehicle.
Yeah.
What about the case of a crash? You said about a puncture, but what in the case of a crash?
But you know something, these things happen. Nothing happened in a race though. It so happened that you just bad lucky that day. I had a situation where I had one and I had to. My race over basically. I said, well, that's my bad luck. This way they ask.
When you sprint, positioning the part of sprinting, who will you get and where on the road that rider is. So if one rider, because the breeze come on your left and the rider the sprint on the right, you can't get one echelon if you put you on the road edge or into the gravel, right?
But Alan, in a sprinting, I know that you can't change your lane. Once you go straight, you can't.
I think what he asks is about jumping out from behind one cyclist, so that if one rider take the center line and sprint along the center line, and you want to jump, and you jump into the left lane, you can't. Again, we do it because at the finish you feel like you want to say, well, at least with the finish we open, but that will happen with this particular Saturday afternoon accident where what happened, that one rider buried down ahead and jumped into the left lane, slam into a pickup truck, slam into the windshield basically. His bike hit the front bumper and he rolled into the windshield. We have the right lane, so you have, if the right lane are at 12 feet, then you got 12 feet. You got 12 feet width to use. And you need to maneuver within that right lane. You don't have the whole lane.
Yeah. Lex, before close off, you may have a comment, I think that what Oscar said it?
Yeah, the only thing is, like, this so they allow me to go back to the comment.
Okay, but basically what he's saying?
He said that a Cuban rider, like, purposely cut him off and, crashed into the front wheel, so he knocked him right off, so he never had no choice.
So, I don't want to stay for the topic, Alan, but I got some information, and one of my friends called me for the States and just mentioned it to me, but I understand that our team that went to the DR, I guess after Chav mash up everybody in the junior one, and he have Belize and Ekong.
Well, Oscar excelled last year, so they got an eye out for Oscar.
Belize, and so they rode us very aggressive, I understand, because Oscar is a very experienced rider. Yeah. And so what, let's say, he couldn't put it up there, but basically said that now Cuban rider really. So then guys in ride, what call it? Have nasty.
They guys ride aggressive, and
they use elbows.
I think they push you into corners. It's difficult for proving intent to say that how intent for throw you down. I mean, it could be for get you for box you in. It's difficult for really accuse one rider for say that how he purposely put me on the ground. He could have purposely try box you in so that you can't make a move. I don't want to judge one man's intent.
Well, I say the thing is, the fans and the general public who watch this thing will have never taken part in a race like so, with so many riders so close together. They don't really understand, but we being past cyclists know how that feel. I mean, you know, it's tough. It's tough.
He said was it the last lap?
Last lap, say the last lap.
Yeah, but it could be a strategy to box him in so that he can't sprint. In other words, why they try to say, yes, I understand that the Cuban or whoever it was used one strategy to prevent Oscar from sprinting. That's different than saying that they use one strategy to throw him down. So it is one strategy to say, put one man in the front and left. You know, if you're a sprinter and I get to a man,
trying to say
I get to a man
being malicious.
No, and then they try to prevent you from a sprint. If I put one man in front of you and then bring one man in to your side and you box in on the roadside, you can't come out, you can't sprint because you're boxed in. So it's one thing for say they try to control you and prevent you from come out or maneuver, but for say that I swipe you,
Well,
I don't know. I mean,
We could ask Oscar to repeat it because we don't have the...
Oscar would be the one for know whether they try boxing in.
If Oscar could repeat what he wrote earlier and then just give us another synopsis of what he thought happened or what happened.
I hope that at least two persons that were, Oscar and some other one of the riders that were on when the race come on, maybe explain in more details. That could give a
exactly how it happened.
We'll talk about what unfolded.
You know, with these bigger, stronger teams, that's why when they bring one sprinter, they got 3-4 man round their sprinter for protect their sprinter.
Correct.
Part of protecting their sprinter, they're not just to lead them, but physically protecting them from other teams where they try box them in or where they try who might do something like that.
So what Miss Janice is saying, Miss Janice is kind of tough because, like I said,
you can't prove that maliciousness.
Yeah,
you can't prove intent, and if there is a rule infraction, if the rule infraction would be deviation from the lane, then you can take that to the commissaires, and the penalty would be disqualification of the rider who did it. So if Oscar believed that somebody did something intentionally, or they broke a rule by deviating from one lane, swipe his front wheel to purposely make him fall, then our federation have recourse. But the recourse, that fellow probably not even going on the top 10. He probably don't get to a position. So disqualifying him would be inconsequential to the results of the race. They don't reinstate Oscar and say, well, I give you 5th place because you're in a 5th position when you fall.
So, Anne-Maria, we say Oscar comment when I was Ordonez. So within the last
lap, I was moving up from around the 10th place to the 5th. And then as I was moving around the outside of the line, a guy from Cuba just decided he should get crazy and swerve into my front wheel for no reason. Took me out straight, luckily no broken bones, but bruises and road rashes for sure.
So he swiped the wheel.
But again, he's saying it's intentional.
Well, he's saying that he made a crazy move. But again, I mean, for say that he aimed for Oscar. It could just be somebody who not watches. So it's just difficult to prove intent. You can't prove intent. You could prove that it deviates from a lane.
Right.
You could prove the action. You can't prove the mindset.
Correct.
Right. So you could take that to the commissary and say the man broke the rule. Why? It deviated from a lane. I mean, it should have been go straight. I swipe.
Yep.
But you can't say the man tried to throw me down. It's one thing to say that somebody deviate from a lane and throw me down. Now, our next thing to say that he intentionally target me and do so and so in order for me to. So you try get into a man's mind. You can't prove what. Yeah. But in any case, the deviation from the lane is enough to have that cyclist disqualified. But what I say is that cyclist will do it probably not going in the top 10 anyway. So when he get disqualified, it not affect the results of the Cuban team, because one next Cuban probably they up front the sprint.
Yeah.
So if he take out Oscar, for prevent Oscar from getting into the sprint, it might be for so that a teammate not have Oscar as a competition, but a teammate not get disqualified. Only the one who do the infraction will get disqualified.
This thing can be planned in a meeting. So when I have the meeting, I said, listen to me. Who that will treat? Okay, who that the rider? Oh, number so and so. Oh, okay, all right. You make sure you mark him.
Take him out. It's necessary.
Yeah, no, but these things really happen. It really happen. Alan, I see professional racer people getting a physical fight, cycling getting a physical fight because they know that the person that they ride they stink. You understand? Or
But you don't disqualify one team because you can't again unless somebody plan to have Mikey in a team hotel room and could show that how they plan this together. Otherwise, the only one who gets disqualified is the one who does the infraction.
Right.
And his teammate who might throw up a hand as a result.
So fans just say how crazy cycling, the sport is beautiful, we enjoy the excitement, we enjoy it, but definitely.
And actually the way to address it is that you make an official complaint to the commissaires. So that, hopefully that was done. If it's on video, it should be a clear thing that the commissaires can see it, or otherwise maybe, at the finishing line, the commissaires certainly are viewing that. So, but the way is to make an official complaint to the commissaires.
Well, let us say, Rick say that way he asked about.
Okay, I think we've been talking about staying in our right lane, but for our Caribbean Championships, of course, that's an open road, so that the road is open, so they could sprint. But you have to sprint in one straight line. You can't deviate from your line and cause one rider to stumble, or yeah.
Man, Alan, we could have stayed all night and talk about this topic here, but like I said, I was glad to have you here to explain.
Very informative.
I think what the fans they love because a lot of times I say. A
lot of people ride and they don't know the rules.
Yeah, no, but people call me and fans.
Or fans itself,
and
right?
say, I never know all this happened. I never know this. I never know that. They are being educated by having expert like you on the show. You understand? To explain how the thing operate and what are the don'ts and do's or whatever. And so it was a pleasure having you on.
I don't call myself expert.
But you are, Alan. You are. You for the time you have.
Again, maybe come back down to what Kaya said, and I just. We're
making nice that you're very knowledgeable, sir. You're very knowledgeable. You're a learned person.
I've seen a lot in my time.
But you have experience too.
But I've been, in all honesty, I've been one cyclist. I've been one coach. I've been one commissaire. I've been on the committee.
You've been an
announcer. I've been an announcer. So I've seen it.
Very good announcer.
I've seen it from all angles.
I clearly remember you. When when won the junior cross country, and that was the thing. And the way he raised up, it was excitement.
I call a lot of big cross country, elite cross countries. So.
Well, Alan and Rich, another night we had glitches at the start, but the show will continue.
Let's extend the time.
Yeah. Well, Chris,
remember you're in the bed.
Yeah. Well, Chris, I have my two sons. They're behind the lot of wires. I don't know what Alan got there. I'll have to learn that someday. But definitely the show on every Thursday. Once God spare life. If I name be a host, somebody will take up that. So, Alan, I want to thank you again for dropping in.
Thanks for inviting me.
And it's not the last time because you are a member of the as a Will Turn family. And you'll be back for giving
a host as well.
Host and guest as well.
I always happy for spread our knowledge for those who want to listen to me. So. Yeah, my pleasure.
Yeah, so you want to give a
I
final
want
word?
to get our coaching experience now.
But again, yeah, well, coaching too, you know.
Very important.
I always
Very
willing
important.
to share. But again, the topic we talk about tonight about, you know,
The rules.
getting into the left lane and chaos on the road. Our organizations, Guns Weekend Warriors Federation, and our commissaires of those organizations need to take a stance of warn once, warn twice, disqualify. And if you don't do that, you know, guys want to continue to break the rules.
Mr. J, tell you, the year when young Derek Chavaria won that goal,
Nobody
not
saw
even
that.
a media house there at the airport for
Correct.
receive the money. It's sad. I mean, sports people and cyclists, we get, but you know, we love the sport, so we continue for do it.
The team went to the weightlifting team went to Panama, came back with a bunch of medals, gold, silver, bronze. Everybody just about had a medal, and nobody showed up at the airport, my brother.
The news people they cover the
Just
quarrel with
family and friends.
No, the news people they cover the quarrel with happening at the house.
You have to be politician to make
yeah, but we're not getting to that. We are about the sports. Anyway, guys, Alan, you give a final words. You big up who you for big up.
Well, listen, my dad, after my daughter, she played volleyball, Hannah want to be cyclist, but it's sport right now, volleyball. They lost Belize District Championship to St. Catharines. So congratulations to St. Catharines, but congratulations to Hannah and the entire Belize High School volleyball team. You guys played your heart out, and one of the problems, they coach them how to pass and how to set. They never coach them how to get tall. That volleyball a tall man sport or tall woman sport. But on Catherine's side, alone 6 footers, and on BHS side, you know, 5'5", correct, 5'5". So, but congrats, and thank you guys, and good night, everybody.
Rich?
Well, I want to say good night, and thanks for everybody that's in there viewing and stayed up and watched the show. I want to thank the guys behind the scene, of course. That's always put in the work, and people just don't realize how much work that they do put in with all the equipment. I would just like to swing that camera and just show you what they do and what they go through. So we want to thank the guys behind the scene. I want to thank Andrew for having me here and for letting me sit down in the hot seat. Palace is not here, and we want to tell Fitzgerald Palace to be safe and come back home to AEW as the wheel turns. But I want to say pleasant good night to each and every one of you, and I want to say thank you to the guys that assist me, the guys that spend their money and send stuff for me. You know who you are, and for helping out my team. I want to say thanks for having me again, and a lot of thanks for being here.
Yeah. My turn. Well, I have so much people who always support, always behind me, so I can't call all names, but they know who they are. We always talk to each other. But of course, I have to thank my 2 sons behind the scene. I have to thank my son there in Chicago and their entire family, because they are always, you know, without the team, you know, when we want to thank the people who give prizes, we want to thank you, the fans, who always make your comments. You know, these things are where make the sports get back alive. You know, I had like Khaled visit me from LA, and he said, Carl called me and he told me, he said, Ordonez, you do an excellent job. He said cycling was like dead, and the show, the live streaming actually bring up back cycling. Like people look forward to it. You understand? Say, next year I'll be treated to a VI, or how I call it. I want to get one carpet or red carpet roll out, right? Where part I go and get me.
You need to get talks.
Yes, but the people say project don't start means that they have but they want to tell me what all they said. They want to keep it a secret. So my ballet Bernard called me and he said, I can't tell you everything, Ordonez. He said, but we will really treat you with love because you deserve it, right? But I like say, you know, thank you to all these people, and the final person after thank is my beautiful wife, who give me the time, and because you know when I get old, your wife, your partner said, you spend so much time, whatever, you have to spend some time, but you know.
Big up yourself, Miss D.
I have to big up Miss D, my wife, for, you know.
We miss you today, we miss her today, we miss her tonight.
Yeah, miss her, yeah, but thanks for the food. The food. Who sponsored the food tonight?
I won't sponsor the food today.
Somebody sponsored the food.
Yes.
So
Well, and just one more thing before we go on, though, we never mentioned, I will just kind of slip us, this weekend we have the races out at Sand Hill for the younger.
Oh yes, there's a race out in Sand Hill for the young kids there.
So if a lot of guys don't want to go out, cyclists want to go out there and support them, the sport and try and support the young fellas that they war out there.
And then, well, I can't make Palace normally secret, but he won't be around, so I know he's gonna marry. Oh yes, they got a crowd gonna marry the ride. So I'll get a chance to take one sneak peek and go take one ride through the hills.
Alright.
So I'm going to do my list on the ride through the hills. But thanks again, everyone. I hope you all have enjoyed the show. Have a blessed and safe night. Until next week, join us, and as the wheel turns, we are out. Peace.
As the wheels turn, every Thursday night at 6:30. As the wheels turn, racing through the streets and through the hills. As the wheels turn, every Thursday night we pedaling. As the wheels turn, streaming live with Ordonez. So yes, I sit and watch as the wheel turns. My bike is where I get my thrill. Up and down, riding through the hills. I have no fear as I climb and change my gear. Through the valley so steep, now we on the street. Yeah. As the